Hello everyone, this is for class 10. Chapter is life processes. We are already thorough with two life processes, that is nutrition and respiration. Now the third type of life process which we are going to study is transportation. Now what is transportation? Transportation is nothing but the transport system within the body of an organism. Now the transport of substances like oxygen, food, water, enzymes, hormones, wastes within the body of an organism constitute the transport system. Okay, this is the definition. That is, we need to transport different materials within the body of an organism. So, for that purpose, there is different system or organ system present in the body of an organism which helps in transporting these substances. Okay, so we are going to study transport system in plants differently and in humans differently. Okay, so let's start with transport system in plants. We know that every cell of an organism needs energy to perform life processes, right? Food is the source of energy. So every cell of an organism needs food to get energy by the breakdown of food. So plants need a transport system, right? So why do plants need transport system? First is to transport water and minerals absorbed by the roots up to the leaves. That is one way. And second is to transport the food prepared by the leaves to all the parts of the plant which cannot make food, right? So basically transport system in plants is for two purposes. One is for the transportation of water and minerals, and second is for the transportation of food within the plant body. Okay, now how is the transport system in plants? Transport system is slow in plants. Why? Because plants are stationary, right? Have large proportion of dead cells. Living cells are less as compared to dead cells. So maintenance work is already reduced. Okay. Then have low energy requirement. That is why as the maintenance process is less in plants, as they are stationary and most of the cells are dead cells which provides mechanical support to the plant, so the energy requirements are also low. That is why transport system is slow in plants. This is the reason. Okay, and transport system consists of xylem and phloem. Now these two tissues, which are also called as vascular tissues, right? So these tissues you have already studied in detail in class 9. Please refer if you have forgotten. So the transport system in plants called vascular system. So vascular system consists of the xylem and phloem. It consists of long tubes called xylem and phloem. This xylem and phloem are nothing but long tubes which carry substances. Now the xylem and phloem vessels are present in all the parts of a plant such as roots, stem, branches and leaves. Okay. Now transport of water and minerals. Who is doing this? This xylem tissue is doing. What it is doing? It is transporting water and minerals from roots to the leaves, where this water is utilized in the process of photosynthesis to make food, right? Now this xylem tissue has four components. What are the four components of xylem tissue? This you have already studied. Xylem vessel, xylem tracheids, xylem fibers, xylem parenchyma, right? Out of these 4 components, 1, 2 and 3, vessel, tracheids and fibers, they are dead cells, right? And this xylem parenchyma is the only living component in this xylem tissue. Okay. Now, how does this transport of water and minerals takes place by the xylem tissue? Let's see that. Now, it can be well understood with the help of this small flow chart. Very easy to understand. See what happens. Minerals and water, they are present in the soil, right, which are required by the plant. Okay. Now, we also know that the roots, they have very fine hair called as root hair. So the absorption of minerals and water take place is done by the roots of the root hairs which are present in the roots. Okay, so minerals and water are absorbed by the roots. Why? Because of concentration gradient. This concentration gradient we have studied several times when we have studied about diffusion and osmosis. Okay, so the solute particles of these minerals, they are absorbed by the root hair by the process of diffusion due to concentration gradient, and water is absorbed by the process of osmosis. Okay, so this osmosis is for solvent particles and diffusion is for the solute particles. So who is absorbing this minerals and water? Roots of the plant, right? Then once they are absorbed by the roots of the plant, they travel to the xylem of roots. These xylem are nothing but tubes. Okay, so pipes which are present, we can say pipes which are present in the plant body. Okay, so from the roots it goes to, from the root hair, from where the absorption take place, it goes to xylem of roots, then from xylem of roots to xylem of stem, and then to xylem of leaves. And once this water reaches leaves, this water is used up in the process of photosynthesis in manufacturing food. Okay, just see this diagram. This diagram explains everything, how absorption of water and minerals is done by root hair. Okay, so what happens, the roots have large number of root hair. Okay, so these are the which you can see over here, these are nothing but very fine root hair. Okay, now these root hair are in contact with the water and minerals present between the soil particles. These are the soil particles, and this root hair is in direct contact with the soil particles, and in between soil particles water and minerals are present. Okay, now the water and minerals are absorbed by the root hair. Just see from these arrows indicate everything. Okay, so these arrow indicate that water and minerals which are present in between the soil particles, it has been absorbed by the root hair. Now the large number of fine root hair increases the surface area of the roots in contact with the soil water, due to which more water and minerals can be absorbed by the roots at a rapid rate. See, because of the presence of large number of root hair, it increases the surface area of absorption, so that more and more mineral particles and water can be absorbed by the plant. Okay, then water and minerals absorbed by the root hair from the soil move from cell to cell. You can see over here. So the water starts moving in this direction from one cell, another cell, next cell, from like this. This water will move from one cell to another by the process of osmosis, right? And ultimately enter the xylem vessels which are located in the center of the root. So this is the xylem vessel which is going to conduct water and minerals. So from cell by cell, the water and minerals will move by the process of osmosis, and ultimately they will enter. And where is the xylem vessel present in the root? It is present in the center of the root, and ultimately the water enters the xylem vessel. Then from xylem vessel, where it will go? It will enter into xylem of stem and then to xylem of leaf. Okay, now the leaf has got considerable amount of water to carry out the process of photosynthesis. So how can we define a xylem vessel or this vascular tissue xylem? The vascular tissue for the transport of water and minerals in the plant is called the xylem. Okay, then see, one more thing is written over here which is called as ascent of sap. Now what is the meaning of this? See, the xylem forms a continuous network of channels that connects roots to the leaves through the stem and branches, and thus transports water and minerals to the entire plant. It has so xylem is nothing but a network of channels, network of tubes or network of pipes are present within the plant body, which helps in transportation. Okay, now the water has been absorbed by the roots. Then what happens next? See, very little water used in the process of photosynthesis. Photosynthesis requires little water. And if more water has been absorbed by the roots, then what happens? Most of water is lost in the surroundings through stomata due to transpiration. Okay, excessive water which has been absorbed by the roots, it is lost in the surroundings due to the process of transpiration. There is continuous water column from roots to leaves. Evaporation from leaf creates suction pull for water molecules to rise against gravity. See, in ascent of sap, what is happening? Water gets pulled in the upward direction against the action of gravity. Okay, and this is all happening due to the process of transpiration. So how transpiration is helpful? See, absorption and upward movement of water and minerals from roots, it is possible due to the process of transpiration. If water can move upward against the action of gravity only when excess water which has been absorbed, it gets evaporated in the surrounding, so it creates a suction pull for the water to rise against gravity, right? And second is, as evaporation process is taking place, see here, evaporation is taking place from the leaf through stomata. We know that evaporation causes cooling effect. Okay, so temperature regulation is also done by the process of transpiration. It gives cooling effect to the plant, because we know that the plant has to sustain all the extreme conditions, that is cold, extreme heat, excessive rain, right? So temperature, outside temperature, it is not fixed, it is continuously changing. During summers it becomes very, very harsh. So transpiration plays a very, very important role of giving cooling effect to the plant. So the two uses of transpiration are, first is it provides a suction pull which pulls the water from roots upwards to great heights in the tall trees, right? The suction pull produced in xylem vessels by transpiration in plants is just similar to the one which we produce while drinking milkshake from a glass with a straw. It is just like that. Okay, and another function of transpiration is giving cooling effect to the plant because of the evaporation process. So how can we define ascent of sap? The upward movement of water and minerals in a plant through xylem is called ascent of sap. Just see this diagram. This is transpiration produces a suction pull which causes ascent of sap. These arrows indicate everything. See, water movement, water absorbed by the roots from the soil. Okay, then it rises against gravity. Water passes from roots to the trunk, and from trunk to the branches, and from branches to the leaves. Okay, And why does the water move upward? Because there is another process going on, which is evaporation into atmosphere from leaf surface is taking place. And as the water which is present in the leaf, it gets evaporated from the stomata of the leaf, more and more water gets absorbed by the roots and it gets pulled in the upward direction. One activity is there in which we have to show that xylem conducts water in plants. So as you can see on the board, what we have to do, we have to take a conical flask, take water in it and add a red colored dye in water. So now this water becomes red in color. Now put a plant which has a soft stem in the conical flask containing red colored water. Now put one plant which has soft stem in this colored water. Now leave the setup for about half an hour. Now take out the plant and cut a thin section of its stem. After half an hour, what we have to do, we have to take out this plant from the conical flask and we have to cut the stem from here. Okay, and we have to see the section of the stem under a low power microscope. So what do we observe? Now this is nothing but the cross section of the stem which we are observing under a microscope. So this we know that this is epidermis layer, this is hypodermis, endodermis, pericycle is there, and this dotted part, this is nothing but a xylem tissue. And how do we know that it is a xylem tissue? Because the portion of the vascular tissue which contains xylem is stained red. Now when we observe this cross section under a microscope, we know that the water rises upwards from the roots by the xylem vessel, right? So as this is a xylem vessel, the color has become red, its color has become red. So what does that indicate? That through these vesicles only water has been transported in the upward direction. Okay, and this portion, this outer part, this is of phloem, which we'll be taking in the next part. So as this part has turned red, which has gained a color of this red colored solution or water, so this shows that water has risen up from these vascular bundles, and these vascular bundles are nothing but xylem tissues. So that's all for now. We will be taking phloem part in the phloem portion in the next part. Thank you.